Accept that you can't change anyone. All you can do is inspire them to change themselves. I realize that you can't necessarily change people. You can only inspire them to make a change for themselves. And changing starts with a decision. You have to make the decision to change, and then you have to carry out the action of change. So change isn't just necessarily a decision, but it all starts with a decision. Everything in life starts with a decision. So when it comes down to changing a person, you can't change a person necessarily by just telling them to change. And even if they told you that they will, they still have to make it as a declaration to themselves that they will change. Or maybe say to themselves that I have changed by starting that change immediately. And I feel that everything in life, it starts with a decision. A decision has to be made. You have to decide that you want to change. You have to decide that you want to go somewhere. You have to decide if you want to stay. And then you carry out the action after that decision. So it's decision to action, action to progress, progress to result. So I guess that's really the whole process of it. I repeat, decision to action, action to progress, progress to result. So why can't you change people? You can inspire people to change, yes, but you cannot literally change them directly. They would have to change themselves. And a lot of the change that people go through, they don't necessarily make the decision to change because of past trauma. A person has to only go through trauma once for it to really trigger their whole entire identity. So sometimes they don't even make the decision to change, and they go through a very emotionally intense experience such as trauma, and then their whole entire identity change immediately. But as it relates to changing people, you cannot force people to change. All you can do is inspire them to change themselves. So with that knowing, how can you change people? Can you change people? Yes, you can, but not in the way that you think. Indirectly? Yes. Directly? Not necessarily. When it comes down to changing people, you would have to inspire them to make the decision for themselves. As I said at the start, accept that you can't change people. All you can do is inspire them to change themselves. Anyways, I feel like that's a message on decision and the whole entire message on change. There could be more that I could talk about, but we could leave it there. If there's any questions that you may have, you can leave them down in the comments. If there is anything that you would like for me to talk about, you can also leave that in the comments. Anyways, thank you for your time, your attention, and that's the message.